Over the last year or so, a lot of brands have been coming out with a flatter flashlight. This is much easier to carry, and this one from Wurkkos, the HD01, well, they've packed as many features as they can into a very small platform. Today we're going to talk a little bit about it, give you an overview, and tell you why or why not you might want to consider it. So something you have to know about the majority, not all, but the majority of flat flashlights like this is they have built-in lithium polymer batteries. And that might sound like a major drawback, but here's the reality. The reality is that it's going to last for hundreds of cycles. By the time you wear this thing out, there will be new technology available. You're probably more likely to kill this by dunking it in water and leaving it there, or just losing the light than you would be to just wear it out by going 100% to zero. That's just the reality. And it's probably going to have hundreds and hundreds of cycles before you even have to worry about it. That's important. It also has a Type-C charging port, which is important because it's one of its biggest competitors, the Arcveld Pro, has a proprietary charging system. And so this is going to be a little bit easier to take with you and go on the fly. While we have the Arcveld, you can see there is also a size difference, which is quite nice. Now, this has a couple of other different features than the HD01, and we'll talk about those, but it's a reasonable comparison. Now, the first thing we have here is a laser, and the laser is actually surprisingly bright, even brighter than the Arcveld Pro, which was already an improvement over the past generation. So nice job. The other thing I want to note here, and we'll use the second button, is that you can turn on the light simultaneously with the laser. That's very good because I want to be able to show you something at a distance and light it up so you can see what's around it. This is going to give you the ability to do both, and that's exactly what you want to have. So nice job. Independent controls for both. Now, this front button will also activate the side lights. Now, there's a lot of functions on this light. You don't have to use all of them, but it's just important to note. So there's a double press to access the side flood mode. And then this is 180 lumens. There's a 1 lumen mode, a 25 lumen mode, and also a 180. So 1, 2, 3. Just 3 different modes. That's the lowest. You can see right there. And that's going to last for quite a long time. In fact, let me take a look. That lasts for 70 hours. Really long runtime. And the 180 lumen mode will last for 20 minutes. Overall, not too bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I was completely wrong. It didn't sound right. No, it is going to last for 2 hours. 2 hours on that. So that's quite a bit better for the 180 mode. All right. So, turning that off, which is one press here, there are other ways to use this side light. They actually have colored emitters as well, and maybe that's important to you, so it's worth noting. So if I triple press, what is it, hold press or triple, hold press is the ramping mode. So it turns on and I left it on red. Now if I hold this button, it'll actually cycle through all of the different colors. Green, the blue, to, I believe, purple, and then it'll cycle back into red. Pretty cool. There we go. And I'm just going to leave that there. Now one click turns it off, and if I triple click, 1, 2, 3, I get various different strobe modes. Now keeping in mind this is like the, what is it called? The police mode. There are other ones as well. Besides that one, let's see, what are the 3? I forget. So it's police flash, RGB, waterfall, and then droplets. Probably more modes than anybody could ever want on the side. All right, and then the basic UI for the flashlight, one press brings you in on mode memory. From off or anytime you double press will give you your turbo mode, and the turbo is going to be 1200 lumens. 1200 lumens for that. I thought it was 1000. I get them confused all the time. 1200 lumens for this one, which is quite good. It's actually surprisingly good. And it also has moonlight. So you hold press and you'll get your moonlight mode. It's exactly the same UI you will be familiar with on pretty much any side switch, O-light, and many other side switch flashlights. I don't have any issues with the UI. In fact, I will tell you, this is one of the better UIs that I've ever seen. Everything works together. Everything works well. I don't say that often. I really, really don't. If anything, I think it just has too much, right? I think we don't necessarily need the police flash and all the other stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Also, in addition to that, you can triple press here to get a strobe mode, and you can even cycle through to SOS functions as well. There's just so much going on with this flashlight. It has kind of the whole kitchen sink approach, but thankfully has a UI that works well with it, and those functions are hidden far enough away that you're not going to accidentally get in them, but you're still going to want to know how to get out of them, which thankfully is just usually one press to turn it off. So that's good. That's good. And most of the modes, like the side switches, they never come on unless you're activating them. When you turn them off, these buttons go back to be reset to where their base functionality is. All of these things are good. There's two things that I will say about this light. The first one is the location of the side light. By not having it on the face here, you kind of limit its functionality. One of the things that I would have loved is to have it here, because then if I attach it to my collar, I have a forward-facing light for a lot of different situations, being able to use it hands-free. I feel like it was a massive missed opportunity. And I hope that if they do make a future iteration of it, that they will move the side light from here to the top if possible. It would make a massive difference and a lot more useful in general. That's the first thing. The second thing is waterproofing. And now this is maybe not something that's you can fix, but this is IP65. Meaning it's not fully waterproof. You can certainly drop it in a bucket of water, pull it out, and it's not going to be that much of an issue. But it needs to be IP67 or IP68 for its most ideal. It would be nice if you could do that. I don't know if it's possible, but even without that functionality, without that waterproofing, for an EDC flashlight, it's going to work very well. It's not going to take any damage from things like rain or anything like that. It's just not going to be a submersible flashlight. Something that I like to have for an emergency, but for EDC, I mean, we have this. I mean, this is good. This is really good. And one thing I forgot to mention here, I'm pretty sure this is also magnetic on its tail, and it does work very well, which is incredibly important because when you're using that side light, let me turn that up a little bit, you can actually use it as sort of a work light. So you can attach it to something metallic and then use it to change the angle, but you would be able to do that with it on its face, and I think it would be more useful because then you can use it hands-free. That's just my opinion. As it sits, this might be one of my favorite flat flashlights that currently is on the market. It does almost everything correct. It has a reversible pocket clip, so you can use it with your hat. There's really nothing more I can say. Well done, Wurkkos. I would love to see more from you that is in this range. Very nice, very compact, nice and light, and yeah, not much more to say. Just kind of a home run for them, I think. One of their better lights in recent memory. As always, thank you guys so much for your time, and we'll talk again soon.